Hey, we are making sushi tonight, and when I say tonight, let me be clear that this is a meal that takes a lot of time, a lot of prep work, and so you want to give yourself several hours. It'll take a while to get all the ingredients, and you'll want to look on Pinterest for some great recipes and stuff, depending on what kind of rolls you like. But we're going to make several different kind of rolls tonight. And the first thing you want to do is you want to make your sushi rice. And sushi rice is different from regular rice. If you have a rice cooker, that helps a lot. You'll want to do 2 cups of sushi rice, which is a medium grain. Medium grain rice is important. Most rice that you get is a long grain, but you'll want to take medium grain sushi rice, and you'll need to soak it for at least 15 minutes. Run cold water through it until it's clear, and then you'll put that, if you've got a rice cooker, 2 cups and then 2.5 cups of water. And once that gets done, then you're going to add sushi vinegar. And sushi vinegar is just a combination of 3 things: uh, regular rice vinegar, sugar, and salt. You want 4 tablespoons of the vinegar, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 2 teaspoons of salt. And you'll heat that on the burner at medium until that all dissolves together. And once the rice is cooked, then you'll stir that in. And this stuff is very different from regular rice. It's very sticky. And what you'll want to do is you'll want to get packs of nori. And nori is just the seaweed sheets, the thin sheets like so. And you'll want to cut them in half, which is what I've done here. I've cut this in half. And then you want to put just a very thin layer of the rice on top of the nori. Now, what I've done is I've taken the bamboo mat, which is what you'll need to roll the sushi, and I put it in a Ziploc bag. That's a whole lot easier to clean up because, like I said, the rice is very sticky and you'll be making a mess. I've cut this sheet in half, and that's about all I need for a good roll. It's important also to have some water at your side to get that rice off of your fingers as you put it on. So I'm going to get a little bit of water on there, take a little bit of rice, and I'm going to put it on, and I'm going to start just kind of spreading it around. This is what your nori should look like with the rice. I've gone ahead and done 2, so I can show you a couple of the rolls right off the bat. As you see, you want to get it as thin as you can. Now, you can, if you would like, put your ingredients here and roll it on the mat so that the nori is on the outside. That's called maki. And from what I understand, though, what we prefer and what's typically more what you see here in the States, the rice is on the outside, which is unamaki, which means inside out roll. And so I'm going to turn these over, and I'm going to put the ingredients on here. So I'm going to take some wasabi, and you don't want to overdo this, but you want to get a little bit of the paste on your finger and just run a bead down the middle. And you can do this if you like more wasabi. You can put a little more on there, but it can get away from you before you know it if you're not careful. I like wasabi, so I'm not worried about getting, there's little areas with a lot on them. All right, once I do that, then I'm ready for my ingredients. Now, the first roll that I'm going to make is a bagel roll, and this is April's favorite, one of April's favorites. Pretty simple roll with cucumber, cream cheese, and smoked salmon. I'm going to stack it towards the back a little bit because I want to make sure that I have plenty of room to roll in, and that has some nori to attach to. You don't want to get too many ingredients in there because it makes it very hard to complete that roll if you're not careful. And if you're not careful, before you know it, you can just get way too big of a roll. So I'm putting some cream cheese on there. Go ahead and pinch that off at the end. And then you can just get smoked salmon, anywhere at your seafood place. I'm just going to put that little bit of smoked salmon there. And we're good. That should be enough. And it's not too much stuff. You can see how it will, once I start to roll it, how it can quickly get too big if you're not careful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this mat over, and I'm going to, you might be able to see there that you can see a little bit of that nori. I'm going to crimp it once just to kind of get that all locked in. I'll move this out of the way a little bit more. Normally I just do one at a time. Once I get that crimped in, I'm going to back it off a little bit, and I'm going to get one more little roll that gets that whole thing in there. And just kind of a couple little tugs, and then you can see your line and your roll. Easy as you please. Now, I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it over on the cutting board. And I'm going to get this next roll. This next one I'm going to make is one of my favorites. It's a spicy tuna. And for the spicy tuna, I'm going to just have some cucumber. And I'm also... Now the spicy tuna is just tuna chopped up with spicy mayo. The spicy mayo you can make your own. It's basically mayo and sriracha sauce, and I can't remember the ratio. I just do it according to how hot I like it. I'm sure you can find a recipe online, but real easy to work with. Just kind of get it on there like so. And because this stuff is basically just chopped up fish and mayonnaise, if you're not careful, you can squeeze it too hard and it'll come outside of the roll. But I'm just going to bring that over, crimp it once, not pushing too hard. Oh, I did push a little hard, but that's why I got it in the plastic bag, so I can clean it off easy enough. There you go. Yeah, you can see there it did squeeze out a little bit on the ends, but no big deal. And I'm going to put this over here as well. All right, the next roll we're going to do is a California roll, which is pretty simple. You just want imitation crab, and you don't need to get anything fancy, anything expensive, just that fake crab that comes in a pack. I use the Crab Classic. If you can see that, okay. But it's only, a couple bucks. And I want to make sure I get enough here. So crab, cucumber, and avocado. This is just a real simple roll, and it's one that, it's cooked. So folks who are kind of wigged out by eating raw fish, they don't have to worry about that with this, so it is a popular roll for that reason. This looks good. A couple firm squeezes. Bring it out to us. Okay, and that roll is ready. Now, the nice thing about sushi when you're making it yourself is you can just be as creative as you want to be, and you can put your favorite toppings, whatever those might be, in your roll. I like to, like I showed earlier, I do like the spicy tuna, but I also like just the regular tuna sliced. I like the sliced salmon, and so you can. What I'll do actually, because I the crab, sorry, the California roll is not that exciting for me. I am gonna put some of the raw tuna sliced real thin, and you can usually get this sushi grade tuna in the store. I get it usually from Ingalls and Temple or from Carrollton Kroger. They have a good selection there. I usually, whenever I go in and I see they have it, I'll usually buy 2 or 3 of the steaks frozen. That way, I can just kind of keep it for whenever I am going to. And I'll put this off to the side for later. Now for cutting the rolls, you want to make sure that you have a very sharp knife. You can spend a lot of money on a sushi knife. I just use my Santoku, which I use for just about everything, cutting vegetables and that sort of thing. But it needs to be wet, so I keep a clean. This is a very clean rag, not been used for anything else, and I will run water over it, and just make sure that my knife is good and wet. And then I will start in the middle of the roll, and I don't want to saw too many times, but I'll just cut it once, and then I'll move it over. And again, you want to wash your blade every single time that you cut, because that sticky rice residue will get on there. Then I'm going to cut it again. Rinse the knife. Cut it again. And there you have it. Now I can take it, put it on my tray. Now you could just eat it like that, but it's always fun to put some specialty toppings on there. Always add a little bit of flavor. This one is the Bagel Roll. You can just play around with it. If you want to just spice it up a little bit, you can take some of the spicy mayo and pour it on like that. If you want some sesame seed to give it a little bit of crunch, you can put that on there as well. Now sometimes some people will pour the sesame seed on the roll as they're rolling it. That's one way if you want to kind of push it in there. You can also make some panko, fried up panko breading to make that crunchy stuff that you get in the restaurant, and add a little crunch to it. And that's just great. A lot of stuff. Now, I don't know that I would necessarily put it on this roll, but you can also make your own eel sauce. And eel sauce is, you can find that recipe online as well. But I just like these little containers because they do, you can just kind of drizzle that on as well. Eel sauce, it doesn't have eel in it. It's just kind of the seasoning that they put on unagi rolls. So there you go. There's a lot of different ways that you can play around with it. I would just encourage you to try different rolls, try what you like, and have. All right, well there you have it. I'll make more of these rolls probably, but I just want you to have fun and experiment with it. If you get into it, you'll want to get some little, trays like this, and some chopsticks that'll last more than once. And we just have a lot of fun with it as a family. Sydney's already made hers. She's enjoying it in the other room, and I'm about to do the same. So you guys have fun playing around with this and enjoy.